So in this video, I'm going to teach you 40 idioms you need to know in business English. Are you ready to take your business English to the next level? Let's get into it. 24/7. This is the shorthand way of saying 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we native speakers mean when we use it to work all the time. How to use it professionally? This idiom is often used in business English to describe services that are available to the consumer at all times, or to emphasize the constant nature of certain tasks or operations, which is another way of saying that those operations are running all the time. For example, our customer support is available 24/7. He seems to work 24/7 to meet his tight deadlines. Now let's see this phrase in context.
I'm gonna put a tail on him 24/7.
Because if you did what you just said you did, then the feds are gonna be watching her 24/7.
I watch you 24/7.
Short fuse. This means a quick temper. And in business English, we use this idiom to describe someone in the workplace who is easily angered or reacts quickly in a negative way to stressful situations. For example, be careful discussing deadlines with the boss. He has a short fuse. His short fuse led to several conflicts in the office. Now let's see this phrase in context.
Ayana, this man is on a short fuse.
He got a short fuse.
You said he had a short fuse.
A taste of your own medicine. This idiom means that someone receives bad treatment deservedly, or that is to say, they deserved to receive this bad treatment because they treat other people the same way. Using this in business English is the perfect way in business English to describe a situation where someone receives the negative effects of their own bad behavior. For example, after ignoring his team's feedback, he got a taste of his own medicine when no one supported his proposal. She often interrupts others, so it was fitting when she got a taste of her own medicine during the meeting. Now let's see this word in context.
The hardest to swallow is a taste of your own medicine.
Yeah, it's a bit of a taste of your own medicine, huh?
I'm giving you a taste of your own medicine.
The next one is butterflies in your stomach. This means to feel nervous, and in a professional setting is the perfect idiom to use to describe the nervousness you or someone else might be feeling before an important presentation, meeting, or negotiations. For example, I had butterflies in my stomach for the important speech. The new intern had butterflies in her stomach before her first client meeting. Now let's see this word in context.
I think that you probably just forgot what it's like to have butterflies in your stomach and you're mistaking that for love.
Ooh, I can't believe I have butterflies in my stomach.
I've got butterflies in my stomach.
The next one is by the skin of your teeth. This means to just barely get by or to barely make it. In a professional setting, we often use this idiom to describe narrowly meeting a deadline or just barely avoiding failure in a business context. For example, we completed the project by the skin of our teeth just before the deadline. He passed the certificate exam by the skin of his teeth.
Same way as everyone else will, by the skin of your teeth.
Barely made it out of there by the skin of my teeth.
By the skin of your teeth, but you passed.
The next one is cat got your tongue. This means, can you speak? Usually after something embarrassing has happened or to embarrass another person. In a professional setting, this idiom might be used in a light-hearted way in the workplace when someone is unusually quiet or reluctant to speak. For example, you've been silent throughout the entire meeting. Cat got your tongue? When I asked her about the missing report, she went quiet. Did the cat get her tongue?
What's the matter? Cat got your tongue?
What's the matter? Cat got your tongue?
What's the matter? Cat got your tongue?
Next one is crying wolf. This is to ask for help when you don't need it, usually after repeatedly asking for unnecessary help. In business English, this is used in the workplace to describe a person who frequently raises false alarms or exaggerates issues and problems. For example, after crying wolf so often, he stopped taking him seriously. She is known for crying wolf, so the team didn't rush to solve the issue. Now let's see this word in context.
You thought I was crying wolf?
So if I go getting worked up every time I'm in trouble, it's like I'm crying wolf to myself.
Said never cry wolf. And People won't believe you if something really happens.
The next one is cut someone some slack. Its normal definition is not to judge someone or their behavior too harsh. And in a business English context, it's used to suggest giving someone a break or being more lenient, especially in stressful workplace situations. For example, let's cut him some slack. He's handling multiple projects at the moment. Cut her some slack is the first time leading a meeting. Now let's see this word in context.
They cut me some slack, Taylor.
Please just cut her some slack.
Will you please cut him some slack?
Down for the count. This means tired, giving up, unable or unwilling to participate any longer. This idiom is used professionally to describe someone who is exhausted or unable to continue working, often after an intense period of work. For example, after a long week, the entire team was down for the count by Friday. The intense negotiations left the CEO down for the count by the weekend. Now let's see this word in context.
Well, he's down for the count now.
Should have been down for the count.
Yeah, he's down for the count.
Draw the line. This means to know the point where something goes from being okay to not okay. It means to cross a boundary. In a professional context, it is used to indicate setting boundaries or limits in a professional relationship between people or a situation. For example, we need to draw the line working on weekends. It's affecting our work-life balance. I draw the line at unethical business practice.
I draw the line at manual labor.
You mean even you would draw the line?
Would you draw the line at killing cops?
By the way, if you're enjoying the tips so far and want more videos like this, make sure to smash the like button so I know to make more videos in the future. Before I move on to the next idiom, if you're struggling with your English and feeling stuck and like you're not making any progress, then stop letting it hold you back professionally, especially when it matters most when working at an international company or job interviews in English. So, if you want to make more money, get promotions, or work at a higher paying international company, then make sure to click the link in the description and first pin comment to book a free consultation call to see how I can help you go from limited and frustrated to super confident and fluent, so you can take advantage of all the amazing professional business English opportunities that are coming your way. If you want accountability and more importantly the feedback that you need to reach your English goals, then my coaching program is for you. So again, make sure to click the link in the description and first pin comment to book a free consultation call to see if you're fit for the program. Now with that out of the way, let's get back to the video. Sick and tired. This means to be bothered or annoyed by. It's used professionally to express frustration or annoyance with a reoccurring workplace issue. For example, the team is sick and tired of the constant changes to the project plan. He was sick and tired of dealing with the same issues every day. Now let's see this word in context.
Okay, that's it. I am sick and tired of your lies, young lady. You're grounded.
I'm sick and tired of being depressed about Richard.
With all respect, I think you are sick and tired of Joe Castleman.
Sleep on it. This means to think about something for a while before making a final decision. It's used professionally to suggest taking time to consider and think about an important decision before making it. For example, let's sleep on it and decide tomorrow. I'll sleep on it and give you my final answer in the morning. Now let's see this phrase in context.
Do yourself a favor. Sleep on it.
I don't know, maybe we should sleep on it, talk again in the morning.
He told me to sleep on it and that we talk tomorrow, but I said job was his.
The next one is snug as a bug in a rug. This means warm and cozy and generally feeling content with the situation. This idiom isn't super commonly used in business context, but is one that you might hear a native speaker use, especially in a more social and informal conversation. It also might be used to describe someone who's comfortable and content with a situation in their career. For example, the new office made everyone feel as snug as a bug in a rug. John is so lucky. He's as snug as a bug in a rug with his job. Now let's see this word in context.
He's 2 carriages up, snug as a bug in a rug.
Snug as a bug in a rug.
The next one is to step up your game. This means to start performing better. In a business context, it's used to encourage someone to improve their performance in a competitive or challenging situation. For example, we need to step up our game if we want to beat the competition. The company stepped up its game with the product launch. Now let's see this word in context.
I think we might need to step up our game this year.
Fine. We'll step up our game.
We gotta step up our game right now.
The next one is to stick your nose into something. This means to interfere in something that's none of your business. And in a professional setting, it is used to describe someone who is meddling in issues that aren't their concern. For example, he's always sticking his nose into the marketing team's business. Don't stick your nose into things that don't involve you.
Stick your nose into everyone's business.
Why does my mom have to stick her nose into everyone's business?
That you also had to stick your nose into Oleg and Sophie's business so that he cheated and she got mad, and then by an almost irrefutable line of direct action.
Next one is straight from the horse's mouth. This means to hear something directly from the person involved. And in a business context, it's used to emphasize information that is coming from a reliable source, often that the person is directly involved. For example, we got the confirmation straight from the horse's mouth. The CEO himself. I heard the news straight from the horse's mouth, so it's definitely true.
Oh, story straight from the horse's mouth.
Now, I'll set it up as he's gonna want to hear Jack's story straight from the horse's mouth.
He's got the right name for it then, hasn't he, eh? God. Straight from the horse's mouth.
Next one is to take it easy. This means relax, and in a professional context, it's used to advise someone to relax or take a break after a period of intense stress or hard work. For example, after the project deadline, make sure to take it easy for a few days. You've been working hard. Take it easy this weekend. Now let's see this phrase in context.
It's okay, he's with me, I'll get him, okay? Okay, take it easy. Hey, you take it easy on us, okay? He's a doctor.
Take it easy on him, Drew.
Tip of the iceberg. This refers to the easily visible part of a larger problem. In a business context, it's used to indicate that a small visible issue is only a small part of a much larger and hidden problem. For example, the client's complaint was just the tip of the iceberg. The whole project is in trouble. The budget overrun is just the tip of the iceberg. We need to audit the entire project. Now let's see this phrase in context.
Yeah, I mean, you and me we're standing on the tip of the iceberg here.
This is only the tip of the iceberg.
No. Success is just the tip of the iceberg, man.
Not see the wood from the trees. This phrase means be so involved with the details of something that you don't get and miss out on the most important facts. In business English, this idiom can be used to describe a situation where someone is so focused on the details that they miss out on the bigger picture. For example, in our last meeting, we were so focused on the minor details of the project that we couldn't see the wood for the trees. We got so caught up in the data, they missed the wood for the trees. Now let's see this phrase in context.
You can't see the wood for the trees.
I do not think that you can see the wood for the trees. Under pressure, you don't always see the wood for the trees.
The next one is up a creek without a paddle. This is used to describe a bad or unlucky situation that someone or a group of people find themselves in. This idiom is best used in business English to describe being in a difficult or challenging situation with no apparent solution. For example, without additional funding, the project is up a creek without a paddle. We're up a creek without a paddle if the supplier can't deliver it on time. Now let's see this word in context.
You know, Munson, to be up a creek without a paddle, Dad.
You rock. This means that you or someone else is great, amazing, or done really well. When used in professional English, you can use it to describe someone for their excellent work or effort. It is an especially good way to praise a colleague who is more like a friend to you. For example, you rock. Thanks for handling the client presentation so well. Just wanted to say, you rock for bringing in the big contract.
Dude, you rock, my man. You my man. You rock.
Because you rock my world.
Mr. Dude,
You rock!
Easier said than done. This means not as easy as it appears to be. This idiom, when used in a business English context, is used to acknowledge that while an idea or task seems simple, executing it and being successful in implementing that idea is not as easy as you would think. For example, implementing this strategy is going to be easier said than done. Expanding into international markets is easier said than done. Now let's see this phrase in context.
That was easier said than done.
That's easier said than done.
Man, that's easier said than done.
The next one is every cloud has a silver lining, and it means you can find good in every situation. You can use this idiom in business English to offer encouragement, suggesting that even negative situations can have a positive outcome. For example, losing the contract was tough, but every cloud has its silver lining. Remember, every cloud has a silver lining. This setback could lead to better opportunity. Now let's see this phrase in context.
Oh, well, I suppose it's nice to know that every cloud has a silver lining.
Every cloud has a silver lining, Mrs. Richards! Mrs. Richards!
Every cloud has a silver lining, that's for sure.
The next one is finding a needle in a haystack. This means that something is virtually impossible to find. And in a business English context, it describes a task that is extremely difficult or impossible to complete, often in relation to finding something. For example, locating the file in this outdated system is going to be like finding a needle in a haystack. Recruiting the perfect candidate for the role is like finding a needle in a haystack.
Finding Chris Dick will be like finding a needle in a haystack.
Finding a needle in a haystack isn't hard when every straw is computerized.
Without a beacon, it's like finding a needle in a haystack.
The next one is fish out of water, and it means to be out of place. In a business English context, it is used to describe someone who feels uncomfortable or unprepared in a particular situation, often in a new role or environment. For example, he felt like a fish out of water in his role as a new manager. The engineer seemed like a fish out of water during the marketing meeting.
You sure are a fish out of water down here.
A pirate in love is like a fish out of water.
Be like a fish out of water!
To get something off your chest. This means to talk about something that has been bothering you for a while, or to admit something that you've done wrong in the past. This idiom is often used in the workplace during discussions to encourage open communication and sharing of concerns. For example, I need to get something off my chest about how the project is being managed. During the meeting, she finally got something off her chest about her concerns with the new policy.
You want to get something off your chest?
Clearly, you need to get something off your chest.
Is this some sort of apology, or you need to get something off your chest?
And the next one is to give it a whirl. This means to try something. And in a business English context, it is used to encourage someone to attempt a new task or project. For example, let's give it a whirl and see how the strategy works. She was hesitant at first, but then she decided to give the new software a whirl.
Why don't you give it a whirl? And if you...
All right, let's give it a whirl.
Well, thanks. I'll give it a whirl.
To go down in flames. This means to fail suddenly and spectacularly, often in front of a group of people. In a business English context, this idiom is often used to describe a project or initiative that fails dramatically. For example, the product launch went down in flames. His attempts to negotiate a deal went down in flames when he offended the client. Now let's see this word in context.
Oh, Vinny, I'm watching you go down in flames, and you're bringing me with you, and I can't do anything about it.
I was looking forward to watching you go down in flames, maybe even behind bars.
If we stand by, we're gonna watch all of them go down in flames!
To go the extra mile. This means to make an extra effort. And in a business English context, this idiom is used to describe going on what is usually required to achieve better results. For example, our customer service team always goes the extra mile to ensure client satisfaction. To secure the deal, we need to go the extra mile and offer additional support. Now let's see this phrase in context.
We're looking for like a self-starter, someone who can meet deadlines and just pretty much just go the extra mile, I guess.
You don't have to go the extra mile.
Look,
Newbie, there's a reason that I can't go the extra mile with patients.
The next one is hang in there. This phrase means to be patient or to wait it out. In a business English context, it is used to offer encouragement during difficult times or to suggest persevering through those difficult times. For example, I know the project is challenging, but hang in there, we're almost done. Hang on in there, the market will improve soon.
So you almost made it, huh, Oz?
I'll just say that we had a great night together.
You hang in there, buddy.
I think you should hang in there, all right?
Hang in there, fellas. Better times ahead.
In the fast lane. This means a life filled with excitement, and in a British English context, it is used to describe someone who is taking on a lot of responsibility or living in a high-pressured, high-reward lifestyle in their career. For example, since his promotion, John has been living in the fast lane, managing multiple high-profile products and buying expensive clothes. Since her career took off, she's been living in the fast lane. Now let's see this phrase in context.
As new boss, I say we tell these Kansas City schwanzers to go to hell in the fast lane.
Your head was in the fast lane on your big salary.
Living a life in the fast lane.
Next one is in the nick of time. This means almost too late. And in a business English context, this idiom is used to describe completing a task just before a deadline or avoiding a problem at the last moment. For example, we submitted the proposal in the nick of time. The deal was closed in the nick of time before the market shifted.
Just in the nick of time, huh?
We stopped you in the nick of time from playing Peer Gynt.
Well, we testified that the Germans had us pinned down, and Wilkins comes in the nick of time and saves the whole show.
To let the cat out of the bag. This one means to tell a secret, and in a business English context, it is used when somebody has accidentally revealed confidential information. For example, he let the cat out of the bag about the merger during the business call. Try not to let the cat out of the bag about our product launch.
You know, let the cat out of the bag.
I don't know how I let the cat out of the bag.
Oh no, she's just covering up because I let the cat out of the bag.
The next one is let the chips fall where they may. This one means to let something happen, no matter how good or bad it will be. And in a business English context, this idiom is used to describe a situation where someone accepts whatever the outcome will be without trying to control it. For example, I'm going to present my ideas to the board and let the chips fall where they may be. After submitting the bid, we'll let the chips fall where they may be.
He would say to us, let the chips fall where they may.
Reveal everything there is to know about yourself and let the chips fall where they may.
Just let the chips fall where they may.
The next one is to lose your marbles. This means to go crazy or insane. And in a business English context, it is used jokingly to describe someone who's acting erratically, irrationally, or making strange decisions. For example, after that all-nighter, I felt like I was losing my marbles. She seemed to lose her marbles when the deal fell through.
Have you lost your marbles?
A donkey staring at you. Clearly it's you who've lost your marbles.
Have you lost your marbles too?
Next one is once in a blue moon, and this simply means rarely, or that something very rarely happens. And in a business English context, it is used to describe events or opportunities that happen infrequently. For example, opportunities like this come once in a blue moon, so seize it. The CEO visits this branch of the bank once in a blue moon.
Only once in a blue moon did they condescend to hear an appeal.
Try going with your feelings once in a blue moon.
This is a once-in-a-blue-moon type of situation, I'd say.
The next one is plain as day, and this means that something is obvious or clear. And in a business English context, it is used to emphasize that something is very clear or evident to you or a group of people. For example, it was plain as day that the project was going over budget. The solution is plain as day. We need to rethink our strategy.
It's as plain as day.
It's as plain as day what they want, Jack.
What?
Me.
Nothing.
Lord Carey, here she comes, plain as day.
The next one is play second fiddle. This means usually to be less important. And in a business English context, this idiom is used to describe a situation where someone or something is given less priority. For example, he was tired of playing second fiddle to his colleague during the project. Marketing has been playing second fiddle to sales for too long. Now let's see this phrase in context.
I played second fiddle to Midge our whole marriage, and I just can't do that again.
He knew he could never replace him, but he said he'd rather play second fiddle than not play in the band at all. He thought,
All you other shoppers will just have to play second fiddle to Pee-wee.
To put your foot in your mouth, and this means saying something you shouldn't. And in a business English context, this idiom is used when someone says something that is inappropriate or tactless, often unintentionally. For example, he put his foot in his mouth by commenting on the layoffs before they were announced. Be careful not to put your foot in your mouth during the client meeting.
You ever heard that old saying? Put your foot in your mouth.
Come on, Turtle, before you put your foot in your mouth.
Bet you put your foot in your mouth again.
And the next one is to pull yourself together. And this means to calm down and behave normally. It is used professionally to encourage someone to regain their composure, especially in a stressful or emotional situation. For example, after the tough meeting, she needed a moment to pull herself together. He had to pull himself together before presenting the bad news to the team.
Everybody's looking.
Pull yourself together. Get down to the meeting.
For God's sake, man. Pull yourself together.
If you're tired of feeling stuck, misunderstood, or held back because of your English, then it might be time to take the next step and apply for my online English coaching program, where you'll get the accountability and feedback you need to go from limited and frustrated to super confident and fluent, so you can take all the amazing opportunities that English provides. I'm talking about getting that promotion, working at a higher paying international company, and making more money. But this program isn't for everyone. It's designed for those who are serious about breaking through those barriers which are holding them back in their career. So, if you're ready to stop feeling frustrated and start speaking English with confidence and the fluency needed to seize all the opportunities that English provides, make sure you click the link in the description and first pinned comment to book a free consultation call to see how I can help you achieve your goals. This program is more than just learning English. It's about transforming the way you communicate in English in high-stakes business English environments. So, if that's something you're interested in, make sure to click the link in the description and first pin comment to see if you're fit for the program. Now you've learned 40 business English phrases that you can use to sound more professional in English. The next step is how to interview successfully as a non-native speaker applying to work at an international company. So what I want you to do is to watch this video here, where I'm going to teach you 6 tips to succeed at a job interview in English, so you can really maximize your results. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button. And if you want more lessons like this, make sure to subscribe for another lesson next week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.